RunDNA has an extensive range of running and walking footwear. They're trusted by podiatrists and physiotherapists. The RunDNA fitter's advice is second to none. Pop into RunDNA, 20 Manton Street, Hindmarsh, or 391 Fullarton Road, Fullarton. They're open 7 days, plenty of off-street parking. If you walk or run, you need to run DNA.
Fair or farce, Sophie and Ben challenge each other with their sporting conundrums.
All right, Hookie, I reckon I've got a good one for you this week. Matthew Lloyd said the Crows choked, and he's right. Fair or farce?
Oh, gee, you've given that the most cursory fair or farce, as if you're just so disgusted with the Crows and that we're going to have to talk about them. I watched Matthew Lloyd on the Channel 9 Footy Show talk about this today. I think he's wrong. I think it's a farce. I don't think it's a choke in the true definition, like a hot favourite, just completely imploding. I do think they've learned a lot about how to construct a finals campaign, and I've felt like Adelaide over the course of the minor round played every card they had in their hand to earn top spot. And then they had nothing up their sleeve for the finals, and I would compare that to the way Collingwood came into the final series, the way Hawthorn have come into the final series, even Geelong, who Adelaide didn't play against. But, gee, the way they handled Brisbane in week one of the finals suggests to me that they came with a few extra tricks up their sleeve that maybe Adelaide didn't have. So, look, I don't think it's a choke, but I definitely think it's a realisation of their deficiency, both in coaching and of personnel. Plenty to work on over the summer. Righto, Sophie, let's stick with the Crows. Matthew Nicks did say the Isaac Rankin saga didn't affect the football club, and he's right. Is that fair or farce?
Look, I think it's fair. I think let's look at the Crows' performance. I think we really showed in the finals how reliant Crows were on Isaac Rankin as a key player in that team. And I think we just couldn't fill his gap. We couldn't feel the physical presence. I don't think the media attention that the whole Isaac Rankin impacted the team, but I think his physical presence was actually missed. We needed him in the forward line. We needed his structure through the centre.
I think it's a farce. I think it had a serious effect. I think the group felt the sting of the public outcry that led up to that qualifying final. And I feel like it hovered like a pall over the club until the final siren on Friday night against Hawthorn. I mean, first it was Rankin himself who sort of let everyone down. Then it was the club's defence of him, which saw the sentences take a week to be resolved. Then the booing for the qualifying final. It was sort of build up after build up after build up. It was embarrassing for the club. It was awkward for the players. And Adelaide, I think, commendably, does try very hard to be this morally superior club, and maybe that's unrealistic in the real world. And without fail, though, when something like this goes awry, the club seems just incapable of doing anything other than tie itself into a complete pretzel. I remember Josh Rochelle was pointing in his teeth at the Port Adelaide fans. He got dropped for it. I reckon that's the sort of thing, just a quiet word and quite stern word, but then public support probably suffices there. Tyson Stangl got booted out of the club. He got stopped with illicit drugs. It was a serious issue. But why would you not embrace and educate, and you keep a guy who becomes an all-Australian small forward, or you at least try and trade him for some value? Instead, they just moved him almost as a bit of a way of saying, no, we're the good guys here. Tim Silvers went and apologised to the Sydney Swans for the Wayne Miller rabble interview. I mean, again, a quiet word and a bit of public support I think would have made more sense there. So if Nixie thinks this wasn't a factor, I think he's wrong. And he needs to understand how this club has mishandled all of these. And I'd ask this question, Soph. How would Geelong have handled this if all of those incidents were Bailey Smith? And I reckon you'd have a very, very different answer to the way the Crows have handled it.
Ben, fair point. It's the right time for Taylor Walker to retire. Fair or farce?
Oh, gee, I love Tex. Look, fair, but I reckon it's got to be his decision. If I'm Adelaide, I say, if you want a contract, you can have one. It'll be a small one, but we're not going to try and convince you to play. And if I was advising Tex independently, I'd liken this a little bit to Shane Warne. I'd be happy to see this as Tex's final season, not because I think he can't contribute next year, but I just reckon there is something elegant in exiting before the tank is absolutely empty. And I reckon Taylor has that opportunity. Yeah, he'll play some good games next year. He'll probably only play 10 to 15, but I reckon this is the right time. So fair. Taylor Walker, I would be very comfortable if he decided to retire. One more for you. Might get off the Crows, hey? We touched on it with Jules a little bit earlier in the show. Zach Merritt cannot set his foot back inside the Essendon Football Club. Fair or farce?
Yeah, we did touch on this one, didn't we? Look, I think I'm going to go farce, but I'm really on the fence on this one. This is a really good question, Ben. Look, get it. He's actually, he's 29 now. So he's trying to do what he can do to get a premiership. I can kind of see that. And Essendon, they're a really young team. I can see he's just trying to get a premiership, and he doesn't really see that Essendon is going to do it in the next 5-6 years when he's probably not around anymore. But also, I've just got to say, what do Essendon do? They need him. They need that age. They need that experience. So I think farce, Hookie. I think he can step foot back in the Essendon Football Club.
Soph, we disagree from time to time. I could not disagree with you more vehemently than the position you have taken on this. It is absolutely fair. He can't set foot back inside the club. Once this leaked, he had to address it, and he had to address it within 24 hours, and he's gone completely underground, which only underlines the shiftiness of his actions. He's the captain of the football club, for goodness sake. He is supposed to be setting the standards and leading and driving what the expectations are of all the other players, and this is just so underhanded. I think he's lost a lot of skin. And no matter where he ends up, I can't see how it can be at Essendon now. I just think the reputational damage will stay with him for the rest of his career. He is done at Essendon Football Club, and wherever he goes, I just don't know he'll be really, truly embraced like he would have been if he'd remained an Essendon player for life.